Hello and welcome to my channel, Love Letters Home. If you're new here, hi, I'm Tori. This is a space where we are all about faith, homemaking, and intentional living, so I'm so glad you're here. And in today's video, I want to talk about something that is probably very real in your home as well, if you're in a similar season as I am, and that is toy management. So for those of you who don't know, I have a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a newborn. So we are in the thick of lots of toys everywhere right now. And so before we jump into everything, I want to talk about a guiding verse in our home when it comes to really anything, but it's something I'm repeating a lot with my kids right now, is found in Luke chapter 12, and it's the second half of verse 48 that says, "Everyone to whom much was given, of him much will be required." So my kids hear me say it often, especially when it's cleanup time. To whom much is given, much will be required. So how I break that down for them is we have lots of toys, we have been given much, we're blessed, but that also comes with responsibility. So there is much required of us to maintain these toys. So let's talk about the volume or the amount of toys that we have first. And as much as I would love to be a minimalist when it comes to toys, that is just not the reality of the season we're in. We have toys in a playroom. We have toys in our bonus room, which I'll show you. We have toys in the kids' rooms, and we have toys in a cabinet in our living room. So we have been given much, but it becomes a lot and it can be overwhelming. So let's chat for a second about how we try to reduce the overwhelm. And one is my husband and I try not to buy our kids toys very often. If they have something that they really want, we'll encourage them to save up their money so they can get it for themselves. But otherwise, we try to remind them frequently about how much we already have. We also regularly declutter. We will go through toys and evaluate which ones we're not playing with, which ones we can donate to bless someone else, which ones need to be pulled out for a little bit just to see if we really miss it or not. But decluttering is a huge piece. And honestly, the more toys that they have, the less they really know where to begin sometimes. I think it takes away from their imagination and creative play. So I try to think of holding on to things that can be used in more than one way, is high quality, something that they don't have anything else like it and they do use it often. I'll make sure that we hold on to those pieces for the longer haul. And another way we try to reduce the amount of toys coming in when friends or family ask what our kids want for their birthday or for Christmas is to encourage them to bless our children with experiences if they really want to gift them something. So whether that be a zoo pass, you fill in the blank. Or if not experiences, then something that they can be creative with. That might be chalk or Play-Doh or paint or a craft or something that gives them an experience to do at home. And that also helps with not having so many toys that we then have to store. And then of course things that I can see each of my children using. So let's talk about a few practical ways that we actually manage these toys. And it's not perfect, but it does help in this season. And one is that everything is in a clear bin. As much as I would love to disguise all of this in a beautiful basket, it doesn't help me because my kids can't see what's inside, so they probably would just dump it out to see what's at the bottom or not play with it because they don't know what's available. So storing toys in clear bins where they can also know, like, okay, here's all the Barbie stuff, and in this bin are all the blocks. And so that helps them be able to see what they have and actually want to play with it, as well as cleaning up so they can see which bin it goes back in. And so that's just what works for our storage system. Another rule that we have for toys, which is not always the easiest to enforce, but it is that our toys stay in their designated areas. So if something is brought down from the bonus room to play in the living room, when they're done playing with it, they take it back to the bonus room. And of course, this comes with a lot of reminders. But again, to whom much is given, much is required. Another rule that we have for cleanup is if you get it out, you help pick it up. Let me just make something clear. I don't expect my 2-year-old or even my 5-year-old to clean up the whole playroom by themselves. We'll work on it together. And because we're home all day, I'm also not harping on them after they get every little piece out. If they play with one bin, I'm not making them immediately clean it up and put it back away. Like, there's fluid play that I'm allowing them to have throughout the day, but we will do like a midday cleanup at quiet time and then an end of day cleanup. So yeah, I'll try to encourage them to clean as we go, but they're little and I want them to enjoy free play, but I'll also remind them, hey, we got this out. We need to put this back up before we move on to coloring, and let me help you pick these up. But it is their responsibility. That's something that we want to instill in them as a part of just taking care of their things. Okay, and I'm going to share a hot take. Everything that our kids have in our home is because we allow them to have it, and I do want them to view their things as a blessing, just like everything we've been given from the Father is because He's allowed us to have it, and we need to steward our things well. But to me, this is just such a practical picture of how they are going to have to manage things as an adult, and the perspective that they need to have on stewardship and managing their belongings. If in our own home we have so much to clean and so much to pick up, an overwhelm of whatever it may be, it's something we have to evaluate that maybe we have too much of that, because everything we've been given is a responsibility to manage. And so if our kids are overwhelmed by the amount of toys they have, then we can lighten their load and give them less to manage. I'm actually going to give you a peek inside of what our different toy areas look like and any systems that work well in those spaces. Our bonus room is where I store lots and lots of books, and these are some of the books I'll use to swap out on their bookshelf in their room. And there's Barbie stuff over here. This side, anything for building. We love blocks, bristle blocks. These are a bunch of our Love Every toys, some like vet plaything. So before our kids shared a room, they each had one cube shelf in their closets for them to have toys in their room. And since they've moved in together now, we have both cubes in here, but it kind of gives you an idea about how many toys we would try to maintain in each bedroom. Down in the playroom is where I keep more gender neutral toys like magnet tiles, train tracks, blocks, books, and balls and other things like that, so that I know they'll both enjoy them down there, and when kids come over they can play with. In their bedroom I have a few more of the like gender specific toys, or like really just personally interested toys that they're in. So there's some Spidey toys up here, there's some like Barbie makeup and princess, but for quiet time also have the Tony box with characters in there. And then I wanted to share one of my favorite toys that they have right now is this Bible stories and songs teller. So it comes with stories from the Bible, and they can set it to a song that goes with it, or to hear the story and follow along in a book. So highly recommend this one. I'll put the link for that below. And I'll show you a close-up of the stuffy tower that we have, which has been an absolute game changer for managing stuffies. I'll definitely put the link for this one below. What's so great is they can pull the stuffed animals in and out, as opposed to it being in a giant basket where if something they want is at the bottom, they have to dump the whole thing out. Here you can see everything from top to bottom that's in here, and then easily be able to pull it out or push it back in. I'm going to finish this video up in the playroom and just giving you a very real picture on any given day of what this space looks like. So I'm going to do a quick cleanup in here, and thank you for watching today's video. I hope something encouraged you, or at least made you feel less alone in your toy situation. If you have any tips or comments, please leave them below. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and until then, I'm sending love from my home to yours.